Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Monday, March 11th, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. That's right. I'm Jimmy Church. We're kicking off another week here at Fade to Black, an amazing week. Tonight, Kaz Clark, live from the UK, is joining us to talk about the Penturk UFO. Yeah, that's right. That's tonight, live from the UK. Tomorrow night, Laird Scranton is with us. We're going to talk about his new book. It is called The Waters of Life. Wednesday night, survivalist Cody London is with us. He's got a new show out called The Survival Show. Man, that's Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, a Fade to Black exclusive, the Aero UAP report. This will be a special complete review, page for page, of the report. I'm going to go through all of it and highlights and my comments. All of that. I may have a special guest or two lined up for that night too as well, very briefly, because there is so much to go through in those 63 pages. So that is Thursday night. Stay tuned for all of that. All right, now let's get straight to it. On this day in history, 2011. Yep. The largest earthquake ever recorded in Japan causes massive devastation. The tsunami in northeastern Honshu and the nuclear disaster at Fukushima on this day in 2011. That's hard to believe. It was such a short time ago. Fader fact: Ruth Graves Wakefield invented the chocolate chip cookie in 1938, named after the inn that she owned with her husband called the Toll House. She traded the recipe to Nestle for a lifetime supply of chocolate and a $1 payment for rights. And that is your Fader fact. I know you have Toll House cookies. Why are they called? Now you know. All right, let's get to the breaking news. Went down yesterday. Oppenheimer won Best Picture at the 96th Academy Awards, along with 6 other awards: Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, and Best Original Score. Emma Stone got the Best Actress Oscar for Poor Things. I gotta say, now, Oppenheimer is great. Deserved it. But Poor Things caught me by surprise. I didn't know what it was about. I heard all of the reviews about the film. I didn't know anything about it when I watched it, and I didn't watch it until like last week, the week before. I love Emma Stone. She was great in the movie. I didn't know that is what it was about. And if you haven't seen it, go check out Poor Things. Get ready, though. You have to be prepared to watch it. It's a great movie. All right. A man from Lincoln County has died after being hospitalized for the plague. The New Mexico Department of Health, the NMDOH, said this is the first death in the state since 2020 and the first plague case since 2021. His name has not been released. A relatively small, unassuming sunspot, it's called AR3599, has been crackling with minor solar flares in recent days, but it surprised everyone by unleashing a strong M7.4 class solar flare yesterday at 8:13 Eastern Time. Just 8 minutes after the solar flare erupted, an extensive radio blackout was experienced across Africa and the South Atlantic. The flare was also accompanied by a coronal mass ejection. The CME is barreling through space at around 1.7 million miles per hour, but to the disappointment of aurora chasers, it's predicted to pass ahead of our planet. However, we can keep our fingers crossed for a possible glancing blow, as suggested by a NASA model that could trigger minor G1 class geomagnetic storms on March 13th. There you go. Porsche today introduced the most powerful production or mass-produced car it has ever made. The electric 1,093 horsepower Taycan Turbo GT. It's got turbo in the name, but there's no gas. It's all electric, but they put turbo in the name because it sounds cool. It's called the Taycan Turbo GT. Coming to market this summer, has already set 2 racetrack speed records for an electric car. It even beat one set by a Tesla Model S by a gigantic 18 seconds. And it also features a 1,000 horsepower launch control button. The previous record holder at the Nürburgring track was the Tesla Model S Plaid track package. The lap time of the Taycan matches the Turbo GT. Makes the Turbo GT the fastest 4-door car, electric or not, on that track. Wow. Archaeologists have unearthed evidence of body piercing dating back 11,000 years at the Bankuklu Tarla excavation site in southeastern Turkey. This finding, detailed in a study published in the journal Antiquity, represents the earliest known evidence of body piercing in Southwest Asia. The discovery, led by a team from Ankara University, consists of over 100 ornaments buried alongside the skeletal remains of individuals, all of them adults, no children, by the way, from the early Neolithic period. These ornaments, primarily made of limestone, obsidian, chlorite, copper, or river pebbles, were found in situ next to the ears and chins of the skeletal remains. The suggestion that none of these ornaments, body-piercing stuff, were found by children says that this was an adult-only thing, possibly a rite of passage into adulthood. Nearly 3/4 of U.S. teens say they feel happy or peaceful when they don't have their phones with them, according to a new report from the Pew Research Center. In a survey published today, Pew also found that despite the positive associations with going phone-free, most teens have not limited their phone or social media use. The flip side is this. Most teens say smartphones make it easier to be creative and pursue hobbies, while 45% said it helps them do well in school. Most teens said the benefits of having a smartphone outweigh the harms for people their age. Nearly all U.S. teens, that's 95%, have access to a smartphone. Airbnb is banning the use of indoor security cameras in listings globally, the short-term rental platform announced today. Previously, and I didn't know this, by the way, Airbnb allowed hosts to have indoor security cameras in common areas as long as the devices were clearly disclosed on the listing page and placed in visible spots in the home. Inside the home. Indoor security cameras, however, were never allowed in spaces like sleeping areas and bathrooms. The update announced today clarifies that indoor security cameras are now prohibited in any listing, regardless of their location, purpose, or prior disclosure. Yeah, that's kind of creepy, isn't it? Yeah. Camera in the living room. Looking at you. They're looking at you. All right. Good on Airbnb. Check this out. The prices of vinyl records will feed into UK inflation statistics for the first time since 1992, highlighting a surge in their popularity among British consumers, driven in part by Taylor Swift. The Office for National Statistics published its annual update today. More than 700 goods and services it uses to measure inflation. This year, the ONS added 16 items and removed 15 to better reflect what consumers are now typically spending their money on. And that includes Taylor Swift vinyl. Yeah. And finally, I'll leave you with this. There's a bit of tension right now in the U.S. astronomy community. Talk about it all the time. And this time around, it has to do with telescopes. Extremely large telescopes, by the way. Here's what's going on. The National Science Foundation, the NSF, a source of public funding that two powerful next-gen observatories have been banking on for financial support, and is facing pressure to go forward with only one telescope, not two. This is because last month, the National Science Board, which is basically an advisory committee for the NSF, recommended that it cap its giant telescope budget at $1.6 billion. Now, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of dosh. That's a lot of ducks quacking in the pond. But it's not enough for both telescopes. The board says that the NSF will have until only May of this year to decide which telescope gets the go-ahead. But here's the deal. Both telescopes are already halfway through construction. And both are equally important, and both actually are supposed to interconnect and work with each other. But because of how utterly huge they're meant to be, they're expected to one-up even the $10 billion James Webb Space Telescope. That's right. The JWST is finding deep space stuff so quickly, it's making everything normal to us about seeing things that humanity just never imagined that they would see, right? And we know this. The combination of the Giant Magellan Telescope and the 30-meter telescope could actually be better than the JWST. Yeah, I said it. I did. I said it. I didn't really mean it, though. I didn't mean it. But my point is this. We need everything we've got. And stuff on the ground, believe it or not, right? The James Webb Space Telescope is amazing, but it's 1 million miles away. Anything goes wrong, we can't fix it. Stuff on the ground is easier to fix. It's right there. It's easier to work with. We can touch it. We can visit it. We can see it. We can feel it. And you know what? It'll last a hell of a lot longer. So, NSF, get it together. Fund them both. Make it happen. Seriously. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Monday, March 11th, 2024. Breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I'm Jimmy Church. I want to remind everybody tonight on the show, Kaz Clark is with us. We're going to be talking about the Penter UFO incident. All of that and much more tonight, live from the UK with Kaz. But for now, I'm Jimmy Church. Go back, Lee Tappy.